special video today. It's another baking activity from Sugar and Fears. Got a Secret Santa to go to tomorrow and decided to bake some cookies. Um, I would say that this is a new recipe that I had just found out. Do you know that you can make, sorry, do you know that you can make cookies with cake mix? Cookies. Like, and I'm gonna show you how. Cause apparently I saw this on online and I was very shocked. So let's look into this. So I have the recipe right here. So this is my first time ever doing this. So I'm very interested in seeing the results of this. So all right. So so one thing we're gonna do, we have our three ingredients. Yep. One, da, da. I need to figure out how long they need to cook, and I need to figure out how long they need to cook, and also um, the prep time. 9 minutes. All right, 9 minutes. Heat oven to 375. All right. All right. All right. So before we get into this, of course, we are going to make sure we wash our hands. Duh. Give me a little towel over here. All right. So So after hearing about this recipe, I was a little bit skeptical. I kind of understood it because I was thinking like cake batter is kind of like a flour, and flour is what you need to make cookies. So thinking about that, and then like of course you have to have all the flavor and stuff added. So which is all in the cake mix. So yeah, it does kind of make sense if you think about it. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to add in the cake mix. All right, so this is basically, so for cookies, this will basically be our flour and like our vanilla and all the flavors and stuff. That's what that would be. Next, we need 2 eggs. So let's get 2 eggs. All right. So in an original cake, you would need water, oil, and eggs. Well, with this recipe, we don't need water. And it makes sense because we're not going to have, we're going to have a, we're going to bake this into a solid form. And we don't need it to be all goopy. Alright, so we got the 2 eggs in. Alright, I want to mix in the eggs real quick. I don't have all the ingredients, but I do want to mix in the eggs. And like the eggs and oil just kind of give it that, I feel like what the eggs do is they kind of give it like a togetherness and a solid form. And then like the oil kind of makes it less sticky. I mean, I'm no scientist, so I don't know 100% about this, but that's what I get out of it. So, oh, thank you. Sorry, we just had a viewer saying, hope you have a bunch of views in the future. I hope so too. Alright. Alright, and now we're going to add the oil. So, so what's interesting about this is that to make a cake, you need half cup of oil, which we put in. You need 3 eggs. But we only use 2, and we're not using water. So technically, this is the same thing. Interesting, in a sort of way. So, all right. So we're gonna mix this up. And one thing that I noticed about the recipe was that one thing that it said was like don't over mix it, which we're gonna be sure that we don't do that. All right. And just like that, check that out. We've made cookie dough like that simple. Like, wow, that is amazing. All right, so I'm just amazed with that. Like, that's cookie dough. That's amazing. All right, so now before we start making cookies, what we're going to do is we're going to spaz this up a little bit, okay? I am a creative person and I like to spaz things up a little bit. So one thing that we do to spaz things up is we add a little almond bark. I just love adding almond bark to cakes and stuff. You know, ever since I learned about almond bark, I think I was forgot what. Oh, that's what it was. So I was learning about how to make cake pop eyeballs. This was for Halloween, and I think it was about a year or so ago. And I had learned about working with almond bark and how um, you can use it to make you can use it to make cake pops, and I thought that was so cool, and I wanted to do that like every year, like a traditional type thing, but there was just a few things after the next, and I didn't get to do it every year. But I thought almond bark was just an amazing invention. It's amazing because like it's like chocolate, but it's not chocolate, And so I just thought that was super amazing, and so I try to put it in like different stuff. I actually have it in my recipe for sugar and beer cookies. If you've never heard of sugar and beer cookies, then ask me about them because believe me, people were loving those, and to this day they still do. So, all right, so we got that in there. I want to use this whole entire thing I just want to be careful not to hurt my fingers in the process. I don't want to get any blood or anything in this mix. Alright, we're going to stop right there. And we're just going to mix this into the dough. In fact, since this is dough, let's stop using this and use our hands. I mean, our hands are clean. I mean, you know that I wash my hands. So, so yeah, my hands are clean. And hey, don't even talk about how like, oh my gosh, he putting his hands in that. Like, dude, how do you think they make pizza? Like, some people don't wear gloves. And they all love that pizza. So, I mean, I'm sure there are some people that are like, well, yeah, they. No, my favorite pizza place, they wear gloves. I'm like, okay, but some of them don't. And people are still enjoying that pizza. So, and like I said, I wash my hands. So, but hey, if you want to try this, then go ahead. All right, so got that in there. Add a little bit more, and we're gonna be adding this. We have enough. We have enough to add it to the top when we're all done. All right. So, all right. So now that we got this in the cake mix, I'll make sure that I got all the parts in there. All right. Now that we got that in the cake mix, we're going to make the cookies. But before we do that, um, I'm going to do a little oil and flour. Um, now, I know a lot of people say, use parch paper. But the thing is, my family does not do a lot of special baking. I mean, unless it's like the holidays. But other than that, they'll just get something from they'll get something from the store. My niece is the real baker, the family baker, and she kind of put her apron up and called it a day. So it's it's kind of a sad process. She started her own business and she just quit. And now she wants to be a doctor. So, but anyway, so since I don't have any park paper, I learned about this trick, and it's funny because I knew about it, but I never truly understood it. So back when I was younger, I knew about how to like you need to make this slippery, otherwise it's gonna stick to the pan and they're gonna get burnt and blah blah blah. But I never quite understood the process of making it because one thing that just kind of happened was I tried it with flour and it's still stuck. I tried it with oil, it's still stuck. And I was like, why in the world does this keep happening? Well, one day I found out that people were, rolling, batter and stuff with a rolling pin. They would put flour everywhere, and I was like, huh. So you put flour on it, it's less sticky, and the rest is history. All right, so let's get the flour onto this pan to make sure that make sure that the cookies do not stick. You want to make sure that's on every single inch of this. Alright. Make sure that's on every single inch. Every part of it is covered with flour. Alright. Alright. And then we're going to. Alright. There we go. Alright. So we got our cookies. So now what we're going to do is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sitting here thinking about making cookies, but I'm not just making cookies, I'm making shaped cookies. So, I had a rolling pan. That's what I need. Gosh. Like I said, my family doesn't bake, and so we don't have the required tools to do special stuff like this. In fact, well, no. I just realized my niece probably has a rolling pan, but in order for me to get it, I gotta go to her room, and she's not home, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be that person invading people's space because I need something that they have. Alright, so we have some shapes here. We have uh, this thing, I forgot what this is called. Snowflake, snowman. I am stuck on words, stocking, and Christmas tree. I'm stuck on words today. So, let's cut these out. kind of messed up in a sort of way because probably should have done this on another platform instead of doing it on here because now the flour is coming off and kind of ruining the whole whole process of the oil flour thing. But it's okay. That's what happens. We make mistakes and we learn from mistakes. We learn how to fix our mistakes. Like one thing that I learned in baking is when you bake cookies or you bake a cake, um, don't wait for the whole entire full minutes. So like there were times when I was like baking cookies and stuff, and it said wait 15, have them bake for 15 minutes, and I would have them bake for 15 minutes, and when I pulled them out, they were soft and good, but then at some point they were hard as rocks. So it taught me. But then I looked at the instructions again, and it was like 15 or less minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and it was like, okay, well then I'll just do 10. And I mean, I would look into the oven and check on them and everything, and I was like, they don't look done, they don't look brown, so they don't look done. And then, but I was like, you know what? If they harden when you pull them out, then they should be. Maybe they should be pre-done. Maybe they should look like they're pre-done. All right, so here are a few of our cookies here. We're going to pop them in for, I believe the recipe said 10 minutes.
Damn fool. Where's that one go? He's a damn fool too.
All right, and while we do that, let's see if we can get some more cookies done. Let's see here. So we're going to use this platform to, shape the cookies on. All right. So I have our batter here. Like this is very interesting. Another thing that I learned in within baking videos is how you can use a chocolate candy bar, melt it, and you can use that for like icing and stuff. And I thought that was pretty interesting. So we do have some uh, Hershey's candy bars. They're special because they have Pop Rocks in them. So we're going to try that out just as soon as those cookies are done. All right. I want to do some more of these. Now, one thing that I do question about this recipe is, um, can you use cookie shapers? Um, one Another thing that I learned when baking is that some cookie batters do not stay shaped. I tried to make Christmas cookies with chocolate chip cookies, and I used the cookie cutters, and when I pulled them out, they were totally in different shape. they were like not in, they were like inflated. And I was like, oh, maybe that's why there's no chocolate chip, snowman or stuff like that. And it was like, and that's when I realized they're usually sugar cookies. So that was a very interesting thing to learn. All right, all right. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to wait for the 10 minutes to erupt, and we're going to pull them out. We gotta find somewhere to put them. Oh gosh, how much time do we have? We have 6 minutes to find somewhere to put them. Okay. Okay. Bam. All right. All right. And before we even put these cookies on the platform, we do need to um, cover it up with oil and flour. Yeah, let's see, how much time do we have? 5 more minutes. Let me see if I have any more flour. So, no flour, but we have tons and tons of cornmeal. This is what I get for living with a family who does not bake sweets. But anyway, we're gonna make do. So, we have 4 more minutes. I'm gonna wash my hands. It's kind of gross. All right. So, one thing I do want to let you know is that for icing, we are going to use salted caramel. Now, I love caramel. Like, I understand a lot of you are probably like, oh my gosh, caramel for icing, I don't know, that's a lot of sugar, stuff like that. But I'm like, I think caramel is an awesome taste. I think peanut butter is an awesome taste. So if you're disagreeing with me on this, then I'm sorry. I like caramel. So we have 3 more minutes. So we're going to get ready to pull out these cookies. And what's funny when I bake is like I'll bake cookies and stuff one way, and then I'll get like some good idea on to add something to it, and then I add something to the next batch, and then like I'm cooking those, and then I add something to the next batch, and I'm like, now I got 3 different kind of cookies made from the same cookie dough. Like, it's just how I work. So anyway, So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take those out in 2 minutes. We're gonna place them into the container, and then we're going to probably cool that thing off because I know it's gonna be burning hot. Which reminds me, always make sure you use safety. All right. All right. Yeah, sorry. All right. So it's about time. So let's check them out. So luckily, they did keep a bit of shape. They expanded a little bit more than I thought they were. And look a little extra brown. No problem. Gotcha. Fire alarms are good to have, but very good. Snowman is interesting. They don't really have to hack I like the name. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean this off. Clean my box off and serve. Alright, we're back. Alright, so we just made a platform of cookies and we're waiting for them to cool off while we make another batch. Alright, and we're going to do the same definitely want to avoid is putting extra. You don't want to put too much oil into the pan because that's going to make flour out of moisture and vegetables. Anyway, so the same thing we did before. We're going to put some flour on the platform. Make sure it spreads everywhere. Give it a little bit more. Make sure that every inch is covered. Okay. And then we're going to take our pre-baked cake cookies and we're going to place them on there. Come on. Get on that platform. There you go. And we're going to try to spread them out a little bit more than before. To make it better because alright. We got a little bit more room, so let's go ahead and make some more. Let's see. I think we need some more trees. Let's get some more trees. You gotta love triangles. You get a lot more done with triangles. I'm able to get four trees because of triangles. I gotta tell you, triangles take up very small space. Like, what if our feet were like shaped like triangles? I'm sure we'd have a lot more shoes in our closets. Alright, so we got some trees, got some snowflakes and some stockings. I guess we need some more snow. So let's make this next batch into snow. Alright, so we're going to put these into the oven. For a few minutes. Alright, so now let's take a moment cookies we have over here. All right. Look at these nice, beautiful cookies right here. So we're going to ice those. I'm just trying to get them out the way, but we're going to ice those later. All right, so all right. So those are the cookies that we have finished. And while we wait for the next round to come out, we're going to make some snowmen of the remaining. So we have this Christmas tree here. Alright, put this Christmas tree on this plate. And we're going to put this out. If you're any viewers out there, if there any familiar number one fans out there, I don't do a lot of baking, but if you could please give me a rolling pin for Christmas. Alright. So we're gonna make some snowmen. And we can only fit 2 snowmen, but that's okay. Extra out. I think the answer is snowflakes. That wasn't.
There you go. Christmas. You got to go to being in church.
Well, actually, I have a party to go to tomorrow, so. Stretch a little bit. Snowflake and stuff. Alright, cool. You were able to do it. Awesome. You know what? You know, I don't know. I'm playing so much of that. So I think I have enough room for a tree and a natural Alright, there we go. Awesome. Alright, we have 2 more minutes before we have to get those second batch out. And here it is. Alright, so got 2 minutes, so I'm going to start cleaning up here. I think we're pretty much done. These came out better than the last ones. Alright, so we're going to do our last, it's not even going to be our last batch. 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, how do we do this? But we're going to get this cleaned. off for a bit. Put some water on it. Get the juice to cool off. And let's I don't know what to do at this point. I think what I need to do next. All right. And, well, let's see if we can get all these on this flower. Because that's all we got left for flower. Let's watch it. Although I do wonder if it is possible to reuse that platform. Probably not. Oh, and once again, yes, my hands are clean. I wash my hands. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that's like, I don't care if you wash your hands or not. Like, don't be putting your hand all up in the. Listen, we're not all perfect. Like, I've seen way worse people. Like, I've seen way worse bakers. So, seriously. All right. Let's see if we can get all these cookies onto.
I'm excited to be everybody here, you're gonna hold in the house, together, loving each other, watching
You're
your
only saying that because you have
All right. We'll do that. Thanks. One thing I actually forgot was sprinkle them with absorbing. I think these cookies are like absorbing this almond bar. When I look at it, one moment it's like covered, and the next minute it's like gone. All right. Last batch. All right, cool. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do next before I make this closing. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to get the Hershey's popping candy bar, melt it down, and kind of drizzle all the cookies with that. Drizzle all the cookies with it. And then, well, first of all, sorry, I'm gonna put the icing on it. I'm gonna put the icing on it, the caramel icing, and then I'm going to drizzle them with the popping candy Hershey's. So I will give you a picture of them when they're done. Hey, check us out on Instagram for any. If you want to know how they turned out, go to Instagram tomorrow morning and get a glimpse of it. But as of now, this is AJ Hart saying thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. I see 2 people liked it. Thank you for your comments. And hey, I hope you like to bake because right now we're not done. We're not done. The video's done, but we're not done. I got so many other things to do. I gotta put the icing on there, and I got to drizzle them with Hershey's popping candy. Yeah, that's right, popping candy. It's gonna be kind of exciting. But if you want to see how the cookies turned out, then go to Instagram tomorrow. It's not gonna be today, but tomorrow, and tell me what you think then. But this is Shiver Fear saying, chill out. It's almost Christmas. See ya.